2493's birthday or Army birthday celebration. Today is the 245th birthday of the United States Army. We'll go over a little bit of history about the United States Army. The United States Army can trace its roots back to 1775. This is when Congress of the United States established the First Continental Army on June 14, 1775. This army was created because there was a severe need for professionally trained soldiers to combat the British. Before its creation, most of the fighting was done by colonial militias, which were made up of mostly farmers and soldiered on a part-time basis. The original order from Congress allowed for 10 companies of riflemen to be created. 2 days later, the Adjutant General Corps, Corps of Engineers, Financial Corps, and Quartermaster Corps were created. However, the first full regiment of regular Army infantry wouldn't be formed until June of 1784. The initial regular Army infantry was called the 3rd Infantry Regiment. History of the United States Army birthday. While some form of celebration has been done over the years for the U.S. Army's birthday, for the most part, the recognition of the professionals of this armed forces was confined to its officers. However, after the Vietnam War, the status of professional was extended to include all non-commissioned officers, warrant officers, and Army civilians as well. This was done through the Army General Order Number 19, issued on October 31st, 1978. This officially recognized the U.S. Army birthday and extended professional status to everyone in the United States Army. A few facts about the United States Army. 24 U.S. presidents have served in the United States Army. George Washington chose the colors of the modern U.S. Army uniform. The U.S. Army is older than the United States, and the U.S. Army is the second largest employer in the United States. I will now turn it over to Patrick Rambo, who's going to talk a little bit about how the Army is organized.
The Army organization. The United States Army is made up of 3 components. One active component, that being the regular Army, and 2 reserve components, the Army Reserve and the Army National Guard. Both the regular Army and the Army Reserve are organized under Title 10 of the United States Code. The National Guard is organized under Title 32. While the Army National Guard is organized, trained, and equipped as a component of the United States Army, individual units are under the command of the individual states' governors. However, units of the National Guard can be federalized by a presidential order and against a governor's wishes, if so needed. U.S. Army units can be operationally divided into the following 7 components, that being from the largest to the smallest. The largest being Field Army, then the Corps, divisions, brigades, regiments, battalions, and then finally companies. Today there are approximately 1 million soldiers in the U.S. Army. In addition, the U.S. Army has approximately 7,000 tanks and over 3,500 aircraft.
The cake cutting ceremony is a representation of the customs and traditions of the service being passed from one generation to another. The guest of honor for today is our Junior Vice Commander, Rich Schaefer. You can come forward, please. Richard served in Vietnam from 1969 to 1970. He was assigned to B Battery, 2nd of the 9th Artillery of the 4th Army Division. The oldest soldier present is Russell Grimm. Russell, if you could come forward. I got a seat for you right here. Oh my goodness.
These old bones, they just don't want to go.
Russell was born 22 August 1925 in Strinestown, PA. He served in World War II and landed at Normandy on D-Day +1. He was part of the 4th Army Division. And then our youngest soldier present today is Patrick Rambo. He can come forward, please. Patrick was born 20 October 1947 in Erie, Pennsylvania, and served in Vietnam from 1970 to 1971 and was part of the 51st Infantry. As is custom, the first piece of cake will be presented to our guest of honor. You don't take a bite unless you want to. By tradition, the second piece of cake is presented to the oldest soldier present. We're just going to put that down and help me cut this.
Thank you.
And then the third piece of cake is presented to the youngest soldier present. Ross, would you like to help me cut the cake? We can pass it off to Pat.
There you go.
And then signifying the passing of traditions, you can pass it off to Pat, and I'm sure he'll come over here to you. The service is concluded by the playing of the Army song.
The Army song was originally written by Field Artillery First Lieutenant, later Brigadier General Edmund L. Gruber, while stationed in the Philippines in 1908 as the Quezon song. The original lyrics reflect routine activities in a horse-drawn field artillery battery. The song was transformed into a march by John Philip Sousa in 1917 and renamed the Field Artillery Song. It was adopted in 1952 as the official song of the Army and retitled The Army Goes Rolling Along. The current lyrics tell the story of our past, our present, and our future.
Thank you all for coming out today and helping us celebrate the 245th birthday of the United States Army. Thank you.
Very good.